this training for years, probably 6 years. He's had this in one degree or another. Um, Chris, I'm just excited this morning because sometimes people really yearn for knowledge. They want the nuts and bolts. And last week we had Tanya Phipps and Pat Klepper and Tammy Crumwitty on the 5X Lamu. And it may have been the most responded to training that you've ever done. I mean, I must have had 30, 40 texts on it. They did just a marvelous job. And then just by pure coincidence, this week traveling in Arkansas with your group, Chris, and Richard Tuggle, and Merrill Wilson and Wayne Wilson, I met a new gentleman they got in over there named Chism. I've met him, but I just didn't know his knowledge bank. But Chris, after spending 3 days for him and hearing him speak, I was like, man, this guy's got to get his knowledge bank out there to the world. He is a bodybuilder. He is a extremely knowledgeable on nutrition, on supplementation. He actually ran multiple GNC stores in Arkansas. And a lot of the ingredients in MOA, a lot of the ingredients in our Rejuveniix, and even our Slenderiiz drops, people would come in and buy those ingredients separately from him at GNC. So, Chris, we're going to get to hear from Chism, and he's going to walk us through all the ingredients. Why don't you introduce him, Chris? I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint as you're introducing him.
That sounds good. I think probably his biggest claim to fame is that we all know his dad. And I think it was kind of interesting when I met Chism the first time. He couldn't believe his dad was getting involved in nutrition, because I think he would be just like my daughter told me, she couldn't believe I was having any interest in getting involved in nutrition. So I actually met him at a GNC store and just to visit with him a few minutes. And it was very obvious that he knew way more about nutrition than I did. I didn't go there to talk to him about our products because I realized that he was way out of the realm of what we do. So Chism, I don't know what we can say other than you've really studied. I guess I don't even know how long, but I know you've been really involved and you know the ingredients, you know about how things are manufactured. And I know that you also made the comment to me that you were impressed with our products early on, even though you had not decided to work the business. But everybody knows your dad, of course. And so most of it, Todd just introduced him as Chism. It's Chism Tuggle. So it's Richard Tuggle's son. I don't know if you're the oldest or the youngest. I've never asked that question. They're not that much apart. So I'm going to turn this to you and let you kind of talk. I know that Todd kind of wants to lead you through what he's going to talk about. And I think the first product we're going to discuss, I hope you're able to see this on your screen, is the MOA. So let's kind of talk a little bit about that, and I'll let Todd do this interview.
Yes. So Chism, you working there at GNC, you sold a lot of these ingredients individually. I know you're really high on the mushroom complex. So I've got all the slides on the PowerPoint. I'll just kind of follow you as you speak, pulling up what you need the visual to be. But I'll just turn it over to you, and we'll begin the day with you talking about MOA and what all of these ingredients are going to be doing in the body and the quality of the sourcing. Okay.
Hey guys, Chism Tuggle here. As most of y'all just heard, I'm Richard Tuggle's son, for better or worse. Now, like Todd said, and Chris a little bit, I did work at GNC for several years. So I was lead salesman. And as Todd said earlier, I sold a lot of these ingredients that are in MOA by themselves. Now, typically a month's supply of grapeseed extract is going to run you $30 or $40, and things like that. They work for some people, they don't for others. The unique thing about the MOA that we never had at GNC was all of the antioxidants, the mushroom complex, and things like that in one little serving. Especially something as quick as a liquid. There's a lot of people out there that do not like swallowing pills, and so being able to get all that in such a rapid form and easily absorbable form is pretty rare. It's pretty unique. You never see antioxidants from berry, cherry extracts and things like that combined with mushroom complexes ever. When I was at GNC, we did have a mushroom complex that came for a short time and then it went. And mainly because not a whole lot of people bought it. And the reason not a whole lot of people bought it is because no one knows how beneficial a lot of these mushroom complexes are. When you start telling a lot of people the ingredients of the mushroom complex, there's things like you mentioned shiitake mushroom, for instance. Well, everyone's heard of shiitake mushroom. Usually people hear it in some kind of joke as a replacement for a wordy dirt, right? Everyone's heard of shiitake mushroom. People don't know how just incredible it is for your immune system. An immune system is two words that right now, if you can't make money in 2020, throwing around the words immune system, you don't know how to make money doing anything, because that's something everybody's concerned about right now. Shiitake mushroom, fantastic for the immune system. Reishi mushroom, same thing. Lion's mane mushroom. This is a big one, and mainly because just in the last half decade to decade, there's tons of research coming out showing just how beneficial lion's mane mushroom in particular is at countering the effects of early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that. I always tell people the saddest disease I've ever seen, and it's about the only thing I'm scared of in this world. I'd rather get cancer than to deal with Alzheimer's or dementia. That's the saddest disease I've ever seen. And everybody knows somebody who's seen it, dealt with it, or has a family member that's dealt with it. It's incredibly sad. They're doing tests and have been for years now, about the last half decade especially, showing a direct correlation between lion's mane mushroom and reversing the neurological damage that dementia and Alzheimer's is caused by. In rats and mice and stuff in particular is where a lot of these tests are done, and they're actually reversing old age in the brain or cognitive decline that the scientists have influenced themselves on these test subjects. They're reversing those symptoms by supplementing lion's mane mushroom. And so if you're not going to take the MOA for any other reason, take it for the mushroom complexes that is in there. You've got the immune support. You've got something that's actively combating against early onset Alzheimer's and dementia, and not to mention all the anti-inflammatories and antioxidants that is in there. So typically you're going to see in an antioxidant complex, you're going to see things like the pomegranate. You're going to see things like cranberry, stuff like that. You're not going to see pomegranate, cranberry, acai, goji, elderberry, all that in one. And you're especially not going to see it from sourcing that is this clean. So the neat thing about antioxidants is that everybody responds a little bit different depending on the antioxidant source. Black cherry, for instance, that's a very, very common one that you see. The tart cherry that's in the MOA is pretty much the same. It's a little more potent. Not everybody responds to black cherry, however. It's one of the more common ones because more people respond to it than don't. But not everybody does. Some people can get gout and get on black cherry and it doesn't do a thing for them. It's rare, but it happens. One cool thing about the MOA is that they're not only putting the acai berry, tart cherry, shiitake, goji berries, elderberry, they're hitting it from every angle you could possibly think of. So if there's one, if you don't respond that well to tart cherry, well, no problem, because we got acai berry and pomegranate in there too. You're going to respond to one of them. The antioxidants are going to hit you from an angle, no matter where you're from in the world, no matter what your ethnic background is, how your gene structure is developed or built, you're going to get the antioxidant benefits. And a lot of people downplay the benefits of antioxidants. A lot of people say you can get too many antioxidants. You can get too much of just about anything. It's very hard to get too many antioxidants. And the reason is, especially for those that are wanting to burn fat, most of your toxins are stored in your muscle tissue and your fat cells, right? And your fat cells being the heaviest carrier of those. When the fat cells are carrying toxins, it makes those fat cells very hard to metabolize. It's kind of like having a dirty source of fuel. That's what fat's supposed to be, after all. Insulation and fuel for our bodies. If you have a dirty source of fuel, it doesn't burn clean. You have to clean it up and you'll get a better, more efficient burn off of it. Fat cells are the same way. If there's a lot of people that walk around dehydrated, and that's one of the reasons why they carry so much toxicity in their body and in their fat cells. Drinking a considerable amount of water in a day. I drink a gallon a day. I've got 1 gallon jug with me right here. I carry it around everywhere. Drinking a gallon of water a day for me, and taking antioxidants, you talk about cleaning up your skin, everything. It makes the fat burning process so much better. And when you clean toxins out of your system, like with the MOA, all the antioxidants that are in there, it's going to put your fat cells in a position to where they can actually be burned as clean energy the way you want. Getting rid of fat that is full of toxins, you're making it much harder on yourself. So there's several reasons to take the MOA in particular. Whether you're wanting the cognitive support, the neurological protection, the repair to the nerves and the brain, or whether you're wanting the antioxidants to clean toxins out of your system, or whether you're wanting all the anti-inflammatories. There's tons of anti-inflammatories in these things, as a lot of you have already figured out. The slides Todd's showing, I mean, good night. Look at that. And you know, a lot of people, I've been taking anti-inflammatories of some kind for a long time. I had a double hernia repair surgery in 2018. Lots of inflammation was caused from that, and it took the doctors about a year to figure out what was wrong with me. I ended up having to go to the sports surgeon for the Arkansas Razorbacks to actually finally get a diagnosis. Anti-inflammatories saved my life, especially turmeric, which we have turmeric in our MOA complex. I could take ibuprofen, I could take Tylenol, I could take any of those over-the-counter things, and too many of them, and I'd get 20 minutes of relief, maybe 30 minutes. And I could take one well-sourced turmeric and be good virtually the whole day. Every now and then I have to take another one before bedtime to help me sleep. And this was a year while I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, while the doctors were trying to figure it out. So anti-inflammatories, guys, can be a lifesaver. There's so many studies that are directly linking. They know it now. It's not just backed up by studies. They know that inflammation contributes to cancer development, as well as a whole host of other things. But cancer in particular, if you're wanting to fight cancer, get rid of the inflammation in your body. Not to mention that it just increases the quality of your whole life. No one wants to be in pain all the time. And if you can, at least sometimes you're not going to be able to get rid of the pain all the way. But if you can make it manageable, if you can keep it from being debilitating, that's all a lot of people need, is the hope that there's some way to help. And that's if MOA can't be used for anything, it can be used to help people improve the quality of their life. The slides Todd's showing now are all people that have found benefit from the MOA in some way. You've got people all the way from bodybuilders to people who are just wanting to lose weight. My father had lots of inflammation in his body, tons. And I was always trying to get him on anti-inflammatories of some kind, or antioxidants of some kind, because I knew the toxins that he carried around, the inflammation. He limped everywhere he went. He was getting a bad hip. A lot of that was due to the weight, but a lot of it was just inflammation, primarily because caused by his diet, a high sugar diet, high carbs. But he also wasn't getting the nutrients that he needed to reduce that inflammation and those carbs. How many slides do we have left for the MOA, Todd?
That's it on the MOA.
That's it on the MOA. In general, I would say with the MOA, to kind of wrap it up on that, what you're looking at, if someone ever has any questions about the MOA and kind of what are the key staples that it does, a lot of you have personal testimonies that you can give on the MOA that are more anecdotal. But if you want kind of a rubric to go by that is a general explanation, because not everybody expects you to know every ingredient that's in there and what every ingredient does. But it's an anti-inflammatory. It's a dense micronutrient replacement. So a lot of people that are not getting the nutrition that they need in their daily diet, they get a considerable amount of micronutrients from the MOA. And you're also getting neurological protection from things like Alzheimer's and dementia. And you're getting antioxidants to clean toxins out of the body. So those are the big ones: anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, neurological protection, and then what did I just say? And a micronutrient replacement. So those are going to be your big four.
So Chism, one of the great things about MOA is because we sell so much of this around the world, we source from around the world, but we buy so much at a time. As a matter of fact, we were in a facility in Utah where there was about $10 million worth of ingredients in their warehouse the day we toured it. But because of that, we're able to bring the price down. Give us a ballpark. Lion's Mane, I think, is about $60 by itself. Turmeric's probably 40 to 80, depending on what brand you're buying. But give us an idea of what people are paying at GNC when they walk in and buy this stuff individually.
Sure. So pricing, using GNC as an example, which is really the best place you can use. As far as a mass market goes, stores that you can just walk in, you're going to have a hard time finding something that is more well-known than GNC and in quality probably better than GNC. Now, Arts' stuff is better than what GNC provides, but if you're talking about comparing GNC to Walmart or Walgreens or whatever, GNC is going to take the cake. Even GNC, though, is considered pricey for most people. And so what they do is they release, without being too ugly about it, they release a poor man's version of everything. Okay. And so when you have something like turmeric, for instance, the only turmeric I would have spent my money on in GNC was the turmeric extra strength by the GNC herb line. That was 1,000 milligrams of turmeric plus the black pepper extract. Now, for a small bottle, you're looking at $49.99 before tax, which where we live in Batesville, tax is 10%. So you tag another $5 on that. You're looking at a $55 product. If you wanted the large value size, you were looking at $89.99 just for the turmeric. Now, turmeric is a good anti-inflammatory. It's a great antioxidant as well. But that was just for the turmeric. If you wanted a month's supply, especially in the potency that the MOA is offering, of all these different things, say you're wanting to walk into GNC and buy a month's supply, and let's just say you bought the poor man's version of everything. They had turmerics in there that were $29.99 for a month, but I wouldn't have taken them. If you wanted the poor man's version of everything that is in the MOA, you would be running several $100s, especially after tax. Several hundred, not $100 for a case of MOA, which is what a lot of people sell it for. So somewhere between $100, $125, somewhere around that. Several $100s, anywhere from $300, $400, depending on kind of how you threw it together. Be very expensive for a month's supply. So you're really convincing people of the value of MOA is a lot easier when the people are already used to buying supplements. And you can show them, which so many Americans are now, especially with coronavirus. Up until the time that the GNC I was with, store closed, we were very, very busy. Everyone has gotten really concerned about their health this year. And so people are buying supplements. So if you can show them a comparison, this is all the stuff that you're getting in MOA. This is approximately what it would cost you. You can look up at Amazon and piece all the stuff together, and it's still going to come out cheaper than what you got in the MOA. And that's for really, really subpar brands. So yeah, very good value in the MOA price wise.
And then the second product of the three that your dad lost 100 pounds on was the Slenderiiz drops. Why are they so effective? What's making that work in our body?
So many things with the Slenderiiz drops, especially when paired with the Accelerate, which they come in. There's so many ingredients in the Slenderiiz drops that most people have ever heard about, mainly because it's homeopathic remedies. The beautiful thing about homeopathic medicine is that it wants to work in unison with the body. It does not want it doesn't want you to take it and feel like the body's been thrown into shock. It wants to work, be recruited by the body and recruit the body to accomplish what it's doing. Some of the ingredients like ammonium bromotan, it's been shown to treat obesity in many, many, many studies. As a lot of people know, the drops were originally formulated to help balance women's hormones. So a lot of what you're looking at is treating issues at the source on a hormonal level versus just trying to counteract symptoms in the body. So calcarea carbonica, it's an anti-stress ingredient that's in the Slenderiiz drops. Avena sativa is for free testosterone. So we've got both reduction in stress and increase in free testosterone. Many don't know that there's two typical forms of testosterone in a person's body. There's sex hormone binding globulin testosterone, which is used primarily for sexual reproduction. And then you have free testosterone in the body. And only between about 91 and 97% of someone's testosterone is ever in the free testosterone form anyway, and that's when we're younger. Free testosterone is the #1 fat burning hormone in the body. The more of it we can have buzzing around our body, the better. Every percentage point we lose off of that as we age, when you're only talking about maybe 7 to 8% of your overall testosterone in that, if you're in good shape, in that form anyway. Every percentage point you lose off of that can make a radical difference on your ability to burn fat and just have energy. So having the Venus sativa in there to actually boost the testosterone while simultaneously having the carbonica in there to reduce the stress and the cortisol in the body can make a world of difference just in someone's metabolism and how they process nutrients. Testosterone and cortisol cannot exist. They cancel each other out. And so if you have high stress levels, your ability to burn fat naturally with your hormones is greatly diminished, not to mention you feel worse. You've got things like the graphites or graphites, as some people call it. That's to treat anxiety. That's something for anxiety. I know so many people that are on anxiety medications that could be taking this, and wouldn't do the harm or have the side effects that they typically see. Obviously, anxiety is closely linked with stress and your ability to burn fat. And a lot of people, when they are stressed, they eat everything in sight, or they eat like a bird and they still gain weight and they can't figure out why. And it's because those cortisol levels are increased to such degree. You've got the nux vomica for gallbladder inflammation. Your gallbladder plays a crucial role in fat metabolization and everything in the body. That's to help reduce inflammation in the gallbladder, as well as aid in nighttime hunger. Late night eating is a huge problem for a lot of people. They feel like they've got it licked all day long because they stay busy. And then when they get home at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., whatever it is, the fridge is never safe from them. They just empty it out. And that's a big problem for a lot of people. Thyroidium's in the Slenderiiz to help support the thyroid. So many people have thyroid issues, and their thyroid issues can be very hard to diagnose. People walk around knowing they have thyroid issues, and the doctors cannot get the blood work or whatever it is, their test to back them up on it. So Thyroidium to help with thyroid issues. The Accelerate drops to pair with the Slenderiiz. The biggest thing about them is the B12. The B12 that's in it is an extremely good form of B12. It's methyl B12. It's the most absorbable, bioavailable form of B12. And you're looking at increased carb metabolization. You're looking at increased red blood cell formation. It's also got biotin, rose hips, acerola, green tea. All it basically, in a nutshell, you're looking at antioxidants. Again, you're looking at metabolism boosters again, and you're looking at vitamin C related immune support once again. Ashwagandha is in the Accelerate. That's fantastic for adrenal fatigue. Lots of athletes, when they get in their older years, experience adrenal fatigue. Makes them feel like dirt because their adrenal glands need cleaned out, and they just don't know why or how or why. It causes a lot of stress in the body. Ashwagandha can help clean out your adrenal glands and reduce adrenal fatigue and help you get back to performing at the level that you used to. So pairing the drops with the MOA is just fantastic.
So just in case there's somebody watching this that is brand new, tell them how they should take the drops and why the sublingual absorption.
Yeah, so sublingual, they've shown is just to be the far superior way to absorb anything. If it can dissolve sublingually, it's the best route. The drops, they suggest that you put them under the tongue and hold for at least 10 seconds. The longer you can hold it in there, the more absorption you're going to get. So, if you want to go 20, 30 seconds, whatever, play a game and see if you can get it to go to a minute, whatever you want to do. You can do that. You just want it in there at least 10 seconds sublingually. With the Slenderiiz, you take it 10 minutes before or after a meal. Typically before you're going to want to take it. You just don't want to take it within 10 minutes of eating anything, okay? So the best way to take it is 3 times a day, ideally at least 10 minutes before a meal. So a lot of people eat 3 meals a day, and so that's why they would suggest you typically take it 3 times a day. But whether you eat 3 meals a day or 6 meals a day or whatever, you want to take it at least 3 times a day, okay? You got to keep it in your system. You have to saturate the body with it. Okay, so they can do its best work. The Accelerate drops you want to take before you eat. Right before you eat, you want to take the Accelerate drops. And that's just to get the metabolism going, so get it prepared for the incoming nutrients to be distributed throughout the body and be used for what you want them to be used for. But primarily, you want to take those Slenderiiz drops. The biggest thing with them is the 3 times a day.
And then the last of the 3 products that your dad and so many other people have lost 100 pounds on and are perfectly named transformation pack because people transform their lives on these 3 products, is the Rejuveniix. And tell us why this energy source is so good.
Sure. So like with the Slenderiiz drops that help build that resistance and that discipline in the body, it helps take away the hunger and suppress those hunger urges and stuff. We can't just keep reducing everything down to nothing. It can't just be suppression. At some point, you're going to have output. The body is smart enough to adapt to whatever situation you're putting it in. So if I sit in this chair all day long, as so many people who work now do, our bodies will eventually adapt and recognize they don't have very many demands on their energy system. They don't need their metabolism to do a whole lot of work. They don't need a lot of energy because they're so sedentary. So we're going to slow things down a bit. You've got to have something revving the body up. You've got to have output. The best way to do that is kick yourself in gear with some clean, natural energy. So the Rejuveniix, that's where it plays a huge role. I sold energy drinks. Everyone knows how big the energy drink industry is. Energy drinks like crazy we sold when I worked at GNC. That was our number one reason people came in, was to get energy drinks. And we'd have people come in sometimes and buy 5 or 6 at a time and drink all of those in one day. You're talking about 1,200, 1,500 milligrams of caffeine, and not a good source of caffeine. The Rejuveniix has green coffee bean extract, extremely clean, extremely under the radar source of caffeine that you can take, get the energy benefits, get the cognitive clarity without the side effects, without the jitters, without it doing real harm to your body. L-theanine is something that's in the Rejuveniix. If I could tell you how much L-theanine I have sold in my lifetime for people, primarily women, that struggle with anxiety and stress and depression, fantastic. My fiance takes L-theanine. My old boss that I worked for, who owned the GNC stores that I worked at, she took L-theanine about every day. It's a very natural way to reduce stress and calm the body. It also has great cognitive boosting effects as well for clarity and cognition. The chamomile, a lot of people have heard about making teas out of that. That's a relaxant. That's a both immune and relaxing ingredient. And then you got the hawthorn berry, again, another antioxidant. Well, you'll find this with about every RX product. They are going to slip an antioxidant in there somewhere, because they are so concerned with keeping the body clean of toxins. Because when a body that's compromised by toxins is not going to function at the state that it can. And that's what we're wanting. Everybody wants to be able to function at their highest level. And so the Rejuveniix, I've seen people taking way more than the recommended serving size. And I've seen people like me who I just take a couple before my workout as a pre-workout. You're looking at 25 milligrams of caffeine per pill. Then the serving size is 4 capsules. So people can adjust it kind of how they want. Even if you take 8 of them suckers, you're still only looking at 200 milligrams of caffeine total. That is in general 25 to 50 milligrams less than one standard energy drink. And it's from a much cleaner source of caffeine. It's not going to have the side effects in the body.
So Chism, just in conclusion, when people start on our transformation pack, we're addressing tons of things. We're not just addressing weight loss. You've addressed adrenal fatigue. You've hit anti-inflammatory, reduction of inflammation, more energy output. Kind of give us a concluding deal here. By the way, I know why you were the #1 salesman at GNC. I'm waiting for this to get over with so I can go back to my pantry and do my second dosage of everything this morning. You got me so fired up. I'm not taking enough, but put it in combination with us now for those that are just getting started on the transformation pack. What all is going to go on in the body?
Okay, so if you're doing the whole transformation pack, what you're looking at is the cleanest source of energy you've ever been able to take. The cleanest, most guilt-free source of energy. You're looking at the most comprehensive hormone-aiding, positive hormone-aiding drops or supplement that I've ever seen. We've sold a lot of the stuff at GNC. Other health food stores sell a lot of stuff in individual ingredients. I've never seen it all thrown together this way in both the hormone complex or the MOA. So you're looking at cleanest energy you've ever had, the most hormonal aiding you've ever had to help balance hormones, burn fat, put your body in position where it's anti-stress and can burn the fat and have the good hormones that you need. And then you're also looking at a complete micronutrient replacement essential, or one of the best ones you can find in the MOA that doubles down on antioxidants, anti-inflammation, a micronutrient replacement, and it just in general immune support. So you're not going to be able to find a better pack that's going to both hit energy, immune health, and hormone health, and nutritional supplementation on the market. You're not going to find it, and you're especially not going to find it at such a at such a good price.
Chism, you're freaking amazing. I couldn't believe it listening to you all week, and you've even topped that today. I can't thank Richard Tuggle and Chris Doyle enough for living the lives the way y'all did and getting your children trained up in all of this stuff. So anyway, Chris, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you, Chism.
No problem, Todd. Thank you.
Now I know why that you didn't have many conversations with me when I was over there, because you knew I didn't have any clue what I was talking about. I learned now that the reason Chism didn't have a long talk with me about things, he knew Todd was the kinesiology guy and he would answer these questions. Now I know why you didn't have much talk, because you knew your dad and I didn't know a clue what you were going to talk about. All we know is that this stuff worked, and we felt better. We knew we got rid of some inflammation. We knew that we were doing better. And I know you're thankful that your dad got on the plan. I know that was kind of you and your sister both are like, of all things, they never dreamed your dad. They just thought he was in this for the money. I mean, I know that's what you said. Dad's just about the money. And don't get me wrong, he still likes the money. But we both know that you're thrilled to see his health change so dramatically, and the fact that he got on some products that were amazing. So thank you so much. I mean, I'm excited about working with you in the future on these things. And your chat room is just blowing up. Thanking you for all this information. So this recording will be posted. I know everybody's asking. I think Anthony's already answered that question. We'll get it posted on my YouTube channel, as well as he'll get it on the Arch Nation, multiple places. So, and we'll have you back again.
Chris, just for the let's put the disclaimer out there that we don't cure, diagnose, or treat anything. And all of Chism's description today were really good, because he was just talking about research that have been done on the ingredients that are used in our products. We are making no claims whatsoever, but a lot of this information, ingredient-based wise, is all over the Google, the internet, PubMed. You can find these things about the mushroom complexes, the shiitake, the reishi. They're all over the place. So go do your own research on the ingredient sourcing of what are used in these products.
Yeah, something I was going to add there, Todd, also, is we were thinking about, because the original MOA formula did not even carry the lion's mane. And then he came out and Chism said, this was some research being done, and some new stuff come out about lion's mane. And as you know, MOA added lion's mane, about 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. And my daughter had the same comment. She's like, Dad, lion's mane is really amazing stuff. They had already known about it, yet we didn't have it in our product because we waited for research to come out. So yeah, we don't heal, treat, or diagnose anything, guys. But what I will tell you is, if you put the right things in your body, good things happen. I'm living proof of that, putting the right things in. And I'm not talking about just supplementation, putting things in your body that makes a difference, and putting the wrong things in is also the reverse effect. So Chism, thanks again for being on here this Saturday morning. We will have you back, and we will go into some other products and get your take on those. We'll let you pick what you want to talk about. So
no problem, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for being on. And guys, we'll end the recording there, and we'll leave it in.